Welcome to my channel AI Basics with AK. Here with our final episode in our season 2, which is Introduction to Python Programming. So we have gone through a lot of episodes, right? We have started from why Python is needed, and then we have gone through strings, numbers, booleans, lists, tuples, dictionaries, functions, lambda functions, and then few advanced topics that includes object-oriented programming, class, objects, inheritance, multi-threading, multiprocessing, and finally we have learned debugging the code as well. And then we have developed a very simple project on pizza ordering system in the last week. In this current episode, that is deploying, we'll try to deploy the same project. Maybe we'll try to build a very simple app. Okay, so why waste time? Let's directly jump into our episode 21, deploying our final pizza ordering system. So in our episode, in the last time, we have seen that we have developed 3 phases to it, if you had remembered. We have created viewing the pizza menu, and then selecting the pizzas they want to order and getting the final amount. So we have developed like 3 steps, that is show menu and taking the order, and then finally printing the bill amount. So we'll try to develop a simple, this is a Python notebook. We'll try to replicate the same thing into our Python file, and then on top of that we will develop a simple application on top of it for deploying it. Okay, for that what we will do is that we will, instead of actually doing it locally, I thought I'll introduce you one more tool, which is GitHub Codespaces. So what you have to do is that you have to just create a Codemaster. Automatically it will create a Ubuntu remote machine for free, which GitHub is providing, which actually helps you a lot for experimentation. People who has very low configuration laptops, maybe who wants to check and deploy, maybe who wants to try to build their learn their MLOps, practicing also. This GitHub Codespaces helps a lot. So let me just start that, and then we will start with this episode directly. You can see it that we are on remote. You can see that we are on workspaces, and let's parse through our respective folder such that when we execute our code, it becomes easier. Perfect. Now let's copy paste the code that we have developed over the last week, which is our 3 legs of our code, which is show menu. I'm just copy pasting. We have already developed this code in our Python notebook. I'm just copy pasting. I'm not even applying any thought process to it. It's a Control C and a Control V activity. And finally, our final function, which is pizza ordering system. Okay, I think it requires a annotation. Let me just give that. So we have copy pasted these 3. We have 3 functions in this Python notebook file. Okay, what do you think if we try to run this file? Let's try to run this file and let's see what we will get as an output. We are getting an problem here because it says still an unexpected indent at line 24, which is this. Okay, perfect. It's not too much indentation is not required. Got it. Now let's run it. We don't see any output. Why? It's 3 different systems and it doesn't know where to start and where to end. So somewhere, okay, this Python functions has been created, but how do we execute them? So to execute them, we have to tell our Python system to run it from somewhere, right? We have to tell it, okay, this is my main function. You have to start it from here. How do you tell it? In Python, we say using this function, and then we'll say double equal to, and then say main, and then what we have to do is that we have to call our main code here. So that's it. Now when you run it, automatically it will start, because that's the only function that he has to run, and from there it will call its own internal functions. Now just simply when we do it, we don't get our final bill amount here. Why do you think so? Because we did not print an output here. So say for example, if we print here, say for example, instead of here one more, so we are using a print here. Simple, right? Now when we do that, it displays the amount right now here. We have a menu, okay, we have asked the input for here, I have entered 5 and it displayed Panetica. Beautiful, right? Like now this Python file, okay, can be used anywhere else. But say for example, now we want to beautify this by developing a front-end application. And maybe we will try to deploy this front-end application to an user who is not comfortable in executing using a command prompt, but he is comfortable in terms of accessing using a HTML page, like a web page. So we have a way to do that. Very simple application, maybe 3-4 lines of an extra code that is required, which is streamlit. Now what we'll do is that we will take the same code and we'll try to create a simple streamlit app. Now what we'll do is that we will try to create a simple streamlit app.py. Now what we'll do is that we'll just copy the same code that we have developed here to here, but however we have to import the streamlit here. That's it. So it's not streamlist, it is a streamlit. Streamlit is not discovered because that package is not available. To get that package, what we have to do is that to install any packages in a Python environment, we can using pip install and that respective package name, which is streamlit. Automatically it installs everything. And now when we say as streamlit as st, so automatically it is discovered right now. We are able to see that it is discovered. Now streamlit, let's see what is a streamlit. Let's go inside quick documentation. Just type some simple commands. The simple commands that's available on streamlit is .st.title. When somebody writes st.title, that gives the title of the tab. And if somebody writes on it, it writes on the body of the app. So here, when we come back to our application, we have two things, right? One is that we have to write this menu on it. So this is an st.write, right? And our output here, which is printing our bill, is also an st.write because we have to print an output on that app. Now we have to figure it out how to select this. Maybe there has to be something like a drop-down menu. So that's actually a select box. I'm just directly giving an answer directly here. So here, okay, instead of actually printing on the console here, in our Streamlit app, we have to change this into displaying as st.write pizza this is for bolding it, and then the price. Beautiful, right? Now for selecting the pizza, we have to select it as a checkbox because we have to want to drop down, use a drop down, right? So what we'll do is that instead of this input, we have to give an, so we'll come back to this. Select st dot select box. So select your pizza by name, and then we will pass on a pizza list. But how do we pass a pizza list here? How do we pass a pizza list? We know that if we pass a pizza menu, which is also the pizza menu here, but we have to pass the pizza menu as keys that we have seen it in our previous episode. Now what we have done here, okay, and then we have to return the selected one, selected pizza. So what we have done is it's very simple. We have changed this printing the statement. Instead of print, we have changed to st.write, and then instead of input, okay, we are actually giving a drop down of those pizzas using passing this pizza menus dot keys, which is nothing but all the list of pizzas as a drop down, and then we are selecting it. Now these two, the codes remain the same, but however, before starting here, what we will do is that we will give some title, right, which we have landed just a while ago, st dot title, and then we will call this as pizza ordering system, and then let's call it the show menu. And so print statements doesn't work here, okay, we have to ideally give it as something like, but however, since it's a GUI, what we'll do is that we'll include some submit button kind of a thing. So what we'll do is that we'll remove these both, and then we will include some button here, say ST button. If somebody clicks it out, the following the below code gets executed. Say for example, somebody once selected the drop down and click on some place order, this things has to get executed. So say for example, now it will publish a message, say for example, success. Actually what happens is that it prints an output, okay, in green. So order place for, say for example, we know this pizza name, right? So order is placed for this pizza. Perfect. Now and then we will write the out price, the total amount, final bill. Okay, this is also an F. Sorry. Final bill as we have to select pizza menu and then pass on the customer pizza here. And then beautify, maybe here, like this. Now what we'll do is that now we have developed this. Let's try to run this. How do we run this? It's a Streamlit app. We have to run using Streamlit run. Now once we run this, it creates a local URL and it creates a network URL and creates an external URL. But automatically what it does is that since we are on GitHub Codespaces, it gives me an option automatically for an external URL. So when I click on open browser here, it opens it and it tries to create the Streamlit app and start running that code automatically. If that code is run successfully, we will not get any error here. However, here we see that there is an error here. At what place here we see an error? At line 25, we see an error after the take order. Why? Here in our take order, we are passing the pizza menu, but here I did not change it. So that's the reason we are facing that error. Now what we have to just do is that we have to just copy, sorry, copy paste this pizza menu, and then come here, streamlit, and very simple. You just have to rerun it. That's it. Now your app is complete almost. So these are my list of pizzas that we can see it here, and then if I want to select the pizza that I wanted, so if I'm zooming in and say for example paneer tikka, and then click on place order, wow, the order is placed for paneer tikka, and then the final bill amount is $13.99. Beautiful, right? So it's a very wonderful journey in the last 2 weeks that we have done it. One is that we have built a Python project from step by step using notebook, and then we carry forward that notebook file into a Python file, and then we created that automatic Python file by printing it on the console. Even though that is deployable, what we have done is that since we want to deploy it to the non Python users, we have created a simple Streamlit app by replacing the regular print statements with st.write statements, and we have created this simple app which is deployable. Now anybody can access it using this application until that this code is running at this point of time. That's this URL is running, so somebody can able to access it. The moment we shut it down, maybe if we shut down the code spaces, automatically this URL becomes not accessible. So that's it. I think we have done a very long journey in this season. So this is the episode finale for our season, which is Introduction to Python Programming. Thanks a lot. We have been learning together as a team in the last 21 episodes. Now, in the next week or so, we will come up with a new season. So stay tuned, and we'll explore the depths of the artificial intelligence. Lovely. See you. Bye bye.